gentlemen, just those hands together for Mr. Blessed Moses.
Thank you for that hand of applause. Please, can you have your seat? So, when I say OTAO Expo, we are going to say to the stars and beyond. Are we together? OTAO Expo.
To the stars and beyond.
OTAO Expo.
To the stars and beyond.
OTAO Expo.
To the stars and beyond.
Can we clap? Can we clap? You guys are amazing people. So today I'm going to be talking to us about the future of online learning. We're going to be looking at trends and innovations. You might like to write down some few things while I speak, if it inspires you. So I don't do this too frequently. There are some platforms when I'm called to talk, I just go ahead and I speak. But there are some platforms that when I'm called to talk, I must say something, not because I am forced to do that, but because I feel the necessity to do so. So there is a great person in our midst. It's no other person but the founder and the CEO of CivilSalt. I want us to give a hand of applause to this great young man seated here. I don't know anything about us Cameroonians. It's like we don't know how to celebrate people. I don't know. If we're in a place like Nigeria, like this, or Ghana, it will be something else. Please, can you clap your hands together and celebrate? The CEO of CivilSalt. So he's someone we have gotten the privilege to work with. Last OTAO Expo we worked together. I don't like talking a lot about people because sometimes, because of the necessity to talk, we have to praise people more than who they are. But this man seated here is a true leader, and he's someone you should get close to now, because in the nearest future it will be difficult to get close to him. I believe so much in his vision. I believe so much in what he carries. I believe so much in the initiative of OTAO Expo. And that's why each and every time he calls me to talk, I take it as an honor, because I see where the vision is going to the stars and beyond. Thank you very much, sir, for the privilege. So we are going to be talking about the future of online learning. Please, can you go to my first slide? By the way, I'm called Blessed Moses. I'm a business strategist and I'm a speaker. By business strategies, I mean that I'm able to look into the future and design strategies for businesses today so that it can help them achieve their goals in the future. You might want to reach out to me in that case. So we're going to be talking about the future of online learning. So a couple of weeks ago, I just got my new apartment online, and I'm planning to buy more virtual plots of land for my next generation. I now come offline once in a while for leisure and leisure holiday vacations. How many of us can relate to that? How many hours do you spend online? I spend a lot. I know that there are public speakers who will tell you, turn off the phone, go offline for some time, go offline for 6 months, be yourself and come up and show. But as for me, I got an apartment online. I have several rooms. One is on WhatsApp, one is on TikTok. You know. And to rent. Exactly. So, and we've come here because somebody has built another platform. He's currently giving it out for rent. He calls it NeutralScope. I'm hoping that you're going to also pay a rent for that platform so that we can live in the same vicinity. Are we together? Yes. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. Exactly. So I'm going to have a brief introduction. This is the foresight to what I'm going to be talking to us today. I'm going to have a brief introduction, defining stuff. I don't want it to feel like we're in a lecture room. We're going to have current trends in online learning. We're going to have personalization, and adaptive learning. Then I will give room for questions. Please, can we move on? Okay, I wrote down something here. I said the online market is projected to reach $375 billion US by 2026. That's just a year from now, reflecting a significant increase in enrollment numbers. Like I started on by saying that I have an apartment online. The rate at which other people are coming online is increasing as the days are going by. The mobile phone is becoming a place where we live. We now come offline once in a while to interact with people. I've visited homes where we're having dinner and people are eating and they are on their phone. And you have to text the next person seated to you about something funny you just thought about. And that's how life is going. Like I said earlier on, there are speakers who will try to condemn that, but online is here to stay. Online is the new line, and online is the gold mine. And we have to accept that in order to thrive as the days go by. Please, can we go to the next slide? The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine it in a beautiful way, and e-learning makes this possible. Now, we have an amazing platform that CivilSalt has brought up called NeutralScope. It's a learning platform, a coaching platform where you can learn, you can interact, you can get new skills, and you can become better. And I don't want to talk too much about that because eventually they're going to talk about that. But why am I emphasizing on this? Because I'm talking about learning online, e-learning. It's a thing that is becoming rapid. Degrees are beginning to fade away. Even though Africa is still backward to that, but in the Western world, getting a degree now is not a fancy thing. It's not a thing you share in a family group and everybody will be excited about. But still yet in Africa, it's a thing we used to torment back our village people. When you say you have a degree, you can speak grammar, phonetics, you can use intimidating words you might not even know the meaning of, but you used to intimidate people. Why am I saying this? The future of learning is online. The future of learning is not offline. Now, what characteristics do we have of an online learning platform? These are platforms that are responsive, these are platforms that are interactive, these are platforms that have incorporated in them AI, meaning that there are several things that are going to be going out of place, things that will no longer make sense in the nearest future. We're going to be having people who will just go online for 4 hours in a day and they can get a diploma. You don't have to spend 3 years in the university before you are given an attestation to prove that you've studied something. There are possibilities of you learning online, getting online internships, and becoming employed online. There are possibilities like that. Now, we have a scenario where we face ourselves back in the country because our network service providers, who happen to be the basis of internet in our nation, it makes it difficult for us to assess that. At one point, Starlink was coming and I was glad. And that has limited the incoming of Starlink, which was something we could leverage on as tech individuals to build amazing real-life solutions. Now, the future, as I said, it belongs to those who can learn skills. The future is skill-oriented. It's not about learning concepts. It's not about learning how to define what computer sciences is all about. It's not about learning how to define what software engineering is all about. It's not about knowing what Python is, knowing what Java is. It's about being able to use this skillfully. And this can only happen if we can leverage on the internet. Why do I say us leveraging on the internet? It's because we are way back. And there are some things that if they are to meet us face to face, it's going to take the next 10 years. But we can leverage on e-learning platforms such as that which CivilSalt is creating to be able to go ahead of time. Are we together? What e-learning is today? Online learning refers to education that takes place over the internet. allowing persons to access courses and resources from anywhere in the world. In the world of online learning, technology is not the teacher. It is a tool that brings learners and knowledge together. We've seen the advent of technology. It's arguably true that technology is going to replace traditional teaching methods. So we are going to have AI tutors, responsive tutors, that they can reply to all your questions without murmuring or stuttering. They can just give you responses ASAP, right? There are sometimes in class, a lecture is going on and you ask the lecturer a question and he tells you, let's take that for next class. But AI is not going to do that. That's the opportunity we have leveraging on the internet. Are we together? So there's a new rising of underdogs, boys and girls, people that we've not known before, that are going to be taking over this space. And I hope that you're going to be one of them. Before Jack Ma brought Alibaba to China, there wasn't internet connection in China, or it was very minimal, and only government institutions could leverage on that, like the military and all the rest. But he took it upon himself that he was going to bring that thing called internet to China, and he brought it, and you can see he became an amazing personality to reckon with. The nearest future for him was just so bright, even though at one point he had to step down as the CEO for Alibaba, but he became something very phenomenal. Now, why am I saying this? I just want to inspire you, to let you know that there are great possibilities with leveraging on the internet, and unless you accept these possibilities, the future can be very blurred for you. The future is not for those who cannot have access to the internet. The future, like I said, is online and it's the new line. Maybe you've been focusing on offline and things like that, but the future is online and you need to lay emphasis on the trends in online learning. So when I was preparing this, I just thought about an experience I had some couple of weeks ago. So based on the fact that I do business strategy for businesses, a young man called me some 2 weeks ago. I told him that for him to speak with me, he's going to have to pay for the time that we're going to be talking. So he went on to pay. And after we had a talk for about 36 minutes or so, I told him I cannot help him. And me not helping him does not mean I will refund his money. So this was done online. I'm not saying that I didn't eventually help him, but I'm saying that I could leverage on the internet to make money, right? Just the fact that I could be on a call for somebody for 36 minutes and he has to pay me 10,000 francs, and at the end I tell him I cannot help him. It means that there is something online, and I call it the gold mine. And if we all can leverage on that, then there's bigger possibilities for us for the future. Are we together? So let's look at current trends in online learning. We have artificial intelligence. For those who say they are not techies, I think it's very straightforward. Artificial intelligence, in the intelligence that is man-made, so to say, right? Artificial intelligence is a new trend that has already been in place, and it keeps on growing and growing. There are new stages to it every day, right? This is intelligent AI tutors, like I was saying before, providing real-time feedback and assistance. Remember, we're talking about e-learning. So we have now intelligent AI tutors. There are many platforms like that. Even Google itself is using AI. Everything, Meta, the whole company is using AI. We have Telegram. Everything you can imagine of. It's just that we in Africa, sorry I keep talking about we in Africa because we're like 10 years back. So each time an African man has to leverage and become part of the global market, you need to work 10 times more than our counterparts in the other part of the world. So if you see CivilSalt, each and every year they're bringing up new initiatives. They are trying to look into the future, look into the society and solving real societal problems with the use of tech. It's because they are seeing that for us to meet up and catch up with the other part of the world, we need to be 10 times faster than we currently are. Are we together? So if you are that person who has been moving in a snail kind of manner, you need to wake up as from today. If you've been putting in only 5 hours of work, you need to put in as much as 20, 30, right? Some days I feel like my entire day is like 35 hours because there's so much to do, but there's so little time to do with. So I get to jumble with a lot of work. You're trying to do this one, you're trying to pick a call, you're trying to reach out to somebody, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. You're still on your computer, you're trying to write so and so thing. There is a lot to be done, and we must leverage on online learning platforms. Are we together? So, what is not a generality, but what I would approve of is that rather than spending 3 years in the university learning a full-blown course, which in our perspective might not meet up to international standards, you should leverage on online to learn more reliable things that can give you income. Are we together? Are we together? Okay. So we have artificial intelligence. I've made mention of AI tutors. We have blockchain credentials. The blockchain technology has come and it has come to stay. Whether we leverage it or not, it is here, and it is the most secured way of saving and transferring files online. If you want to leverage on a secure and a safe way of transferring files online, you must make use of blockchain. It's very, very important that we use that. So it is secure, it is verifiable, it is a verifiable means of transferring digital diplomas and certificates. Remember, my talk evolves around e-learning. So anything I'm saying is going to be attributed to that. Then we have virtual reality. It's still very far from us, so to say, but it's very common in the other part of the world, right? You can sit at your home with just some glasses. You feel like you are actually in reality. We call that virtual reality. Are we together? That you can wear your glasses or your lenses and you feel like you are in an actual scenario of what is happening, right? Maybe you're studying medicine and you need to go to the theater to do some work, and with those lenses you can use them to learn, right? This is all about e-learning platforms. It is possible with that as well, and I believe that in the nearest future, maybe CivilSalt is going to be bringing that to us. Please, can we move to the next slide? So the future of learning is global, and the only global is online. So there is no way you can be talking about being global without being online. That is the only thing that unites us as a universe, right? The only thing that unites all the continents on earth is the internet. And we cannot talk about globalization without talking about online. We're talking about borderlessness. We're talking about people being able to be in Africa, but take jobs in the US, take jobs in Asia. Are there any freelancers here? Is there anybody who does freelancing here? Okay, that's amazing. So from what they must have had as their experience is the ability to sit in one place and be in 10 different other places. This is what we will call in sci-fi movies teleporting, right? You are able to be in one place but in 10 different other places. This makes it more easier for us to access information from all of the parts of the world. Are we together? Online is a new mine and it is a new line. Please, the next slide. So we have various threats that are coming due to the fact that e-learning platforms are rapidly becoming something very usual. We're having a decreased necessity for traditional learning. A lot of youths now are questioning the degrees they get from school. And they are not just questioning it because they want to question it, but it's because of the advent of e-learning platforms, right? There are people who sit at home and they get that same degree you go to sit in class to get. So now you begin to be worried about yourself. What's the necessity for me to go to UBA or to UB or to SWA and I sit for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to get a course that somebody sits in the house and within the next 6 months he too is given an attestation. That's a trend that is becoming very rampant today, and it's coming due to the fact that we have e-learning platforms coming into the scene. We have increased access to knowledge. Our world thrives on scarcity. We still believe in knowledge because knowledge is scarce. But there is a threat that comes with e-learning platforms to the fact that knowledge is becoming a common thing. With AI now, sometimes there are some questions I feel very ashamed to ask in public. So once a question just comes, I type and I ask AI, right? Because sometimes it's very embarrassing, right? Very embarrassing to, like, they say the OTAO Expo is going to be happening at Ghana Street, and I'm like, where's Ghana Street? I try to do something with my phone, right? And I'm getting the location real time. So the fact that e-learning platforms are going to be bringing a lot of exposure to knowledge is also a threat. But there is one truth I've come to realize, that in this world, we are always going to have the rich and the poor amongst us. We are always going to have the wise and the foolish amongst us. And sometimes being foolish doesn't mean it's an insult. It's just a state of being. Even me, sometimes I'm very foolish, right? But now I'm not foolish all the time, right? But sometimes some people exhibit foolishness as often as possible, and that's why we get to call them foolish people. But now we are coming to an era where knowledge is going to be very rampant. People are going to have access to knowledge just at a click. So now my question is it at one point we will be looking for more foolish people in the society, or we will be looking for more wise people? What if all of us become wise? Then foolishness will become the new wiseness. It's a threat. We have traditional tutoring going extinct. I've spoken about our traditional system of going to school, having a lecturer, giving you lectures for 4 hours, and your butt is paining because you're seated on a hard wooden bench, and you have to be there for 4 hours just to make sure that at the end of the class you can tick your name or get your name signed. E-learning platforms are beginning to quietly get that into extinction. There are people who, under their blankets, they're having online courses, and somehow they can use virtual backgrounds to cover up where they are. I've attended online meetings with a shop, right? That's because online platforms give us the possibility to do that. So I'm just from taking my bath, I'm just from having a shower, and it's already time, it's 8:30 p.m. and I have a course online. And I just quickly wear my coat on and I sit just the way I am. And it's possible to do that. And that's because we have online platforms like this. Are we together? We have personalization and adaptive learning. Personalization in today's world is not just a trend but a marketing tsunami. Everybody wants it at their pace. Online learning provides the possibility for individuals to personalize their learning experiences into what best suits them. And this is what gives power to online learning. The fact that you can learn at your own pace. You don't need to be pressured to learn. That is what is becoming rapidly possible online. Why you should consider learning online? We have flexibility and convenience. We have access to diverse range of courses and resources. We have cost effectiveness. We have development of essential skills. So all of these encompasses why you should consider learning online. If you pay your school fees at UBA, you still need to pay for lodging, you still need to pay for transportation and things like that. But once you are online in a virtual class, you don't need to bother about all of those things. Right or true? Okay, I'm all saying the same thing. I'm excited about the future, and I don't know about you. How many of us are excited about the future? Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to see the future fire you from your jobs. So the question is, when it eventually fires you, where are you going to go to? NeutralScope. Exactly, can we clap for you? I want to go to NeutralScope. Yeah, so it is a very big possibility that in the nearest future, certain jobs are going to be extinct. We just watch what Elon Musk did. It's revolutionary with the robots and everything. It's a threat. Some government agencies are beginning to fight against it because they are seeing that there's a possibility of it cutting down some of their income as government agencies. But it's something we cannot fight against. It is here to stay. Are we together? I want you to take it home that the future is online and it has come to stay. So I'm asking you, what part do you have to play in that future which is online? Please help me ask your neighbor, what part do you have to play in that future which is online? So there are people who are making the future. There are people who are making the future. I say that again. CivilSalt is making the future. Some people are just going to watch the future happen, and some people are going to use what has been made. Right? How many of us choose the clothes we wore today to this place? How many of us choose the clothes? Maybe break your bubbles by saying that you didn't have a choice. A couple of them, and you felt like you were making choices. They gave you the choice. You don't have anything to make as choice. It's same as in our country. We have MTN, we have Orange, we have Camtel. Sometimes you feel like you are making a choice. You're not making any choice. It is what has been chosen for you already. So they just give you a mirage to feel like you're making a choice, whereas the choice has already been made. So I want you to leave this place as someone who is going to make others make choices. Did somebody get me clearly? Yes. You're going to make others make choices, and that's what Mr. Titus is doing. Based on NeutralScope, people will feel like they're making choices, but he made choices for them so they could learn online. I hope we're together. So leave this place with a possibility to make choices, so others can make choices based on what is done. So I remain Mr. Fearless, Blessed Moses, and I'm super excited to be here, and I hope that the rest of the event is going to be very impactful. You have a great day.